Evan Ginsberg back with another edition of Evan Ginsberg's Legends TV with not one but two co-hosts, Steve Ludwig, who is a radio personality with not one but two shows.
Yes.
Tell us briefly about that.
Well, first of all, personality is very kind, so thank you.
There you go.
But, all you guys have to do is go to planetludwig.com. I have Steve Ludwig's Classic Pop Culture, where for about a month we're going to go back to the archives.
Okay.
And, pick out the creme de la creme. They were all great shows, but, people like Tommy James and Tommy Rowe and Billy Paul, things like that. So we'll be doing snippets of episodes from there. And not tomorrow, but beginning again next Sunday on iTunesUSA.com, right here at Madhouse Studios. I have the Beatles Hour with Steve Ludwig, where we play nothing but Beatles music, solo.
I vaguely heard of them.
Yeah, they were one-hit wonders, so it's tough to come up with enough songs to fill the hour. But this is Paul McCartney's birthday month, so we'll have a special solo Paul McCartney music show next Sunday.
Beautiful.
Or planetludwig.com and iTunesUSA.com.
All right, and our other co-host, Sir Style, is the latest presidential candidate, I'm told.
I'm going to do something different and go in on the Democratic side.
Okay. There you go. And very conservative as usual. Tell us about the outfit, which you designed, right?
Yeah, I dressed it down a little.
That's right.
So, yeah, I design all my own outfits and always have, and I have a lot of fun doing it. It's part of the fun, and I put my own stamp on it. Everybody seems to love it. I know I do. And yes, I wear these everywhere.
Wow.
Think of all the pink flamingos that gave their lives, so Sir Style could wear these things.
They signed the waiver.
Okay.
Yeah. And that would look great at the local Kmart, I would say, right?
Walmart, yeah. People at Walmart, yeah. Go ahead and look. I'm probably already there.
There you go. Good look. So tell us, we have a beeping. What is that beeping? Let's take a commercial break and kill this beeping. We'll be right back.
All right.
And we are back with Legends TV. There you go. There you go. So live TV, the pluses and minuses of it. And we were talking about Sir Style, about his upcoming presidential run. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. One vote even would be fabulous, so write me in.
That's right. That's right. And since you were last on the show, and you're one of our favorite guests, you've appeared many times.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You have some great entrepreneurial skills and things going on. Tell us about some of your projects.
Yeah, I've done something I've been managing and wrestling for 22 years, and I've done something I said I would never do. I went to the dark side, and I've become a promoter.
Wow.
But it's a little different. It's not in pro wrestling, but I'm doing something called the Bucks County Sport and Social Club, which you can look up on Facebook. We're running our first event on September 12th. It's a dodgeball tournament right in my hometown of Morrisville, Pennsylvania. It's a small town. It's got a lot of history. We're right across the bridge from Trenton. Battle of Trenton was fought there. Sometimes I think it still is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're starting with the dodgeball tournament, then we're going to do a kickball tournament, and and lots of other things to come up. So I'm having a lot of fun with it. Promoting is more fun than I thought it would be. I got to tell you that. I want more.
It's more fun if you actually make money. That's
well, that's yet to be seen. Talk to me the next time I'm here.
All right. And
it'll be a black coat next time in mourning. No, I'm sure it's going to be a great.
And for the wrestling fans, I was watching the Ring of Honor pay-per-view last night, which is always well worth supporting. Tell us about some of the highlights of your wrestling career.
Wow. I wouldn't know where to start. I've had so many. Highlights, I started in the NWA in the early 90s. I was mentored, proud to say I was mentored by a gentleman from the WCW power plant. I moved to Atlanta, spent a year there, working the circuit down there. And later in my older years, as I've really learned my business better and been more respectful, something I wasn't when I was younger. I've had so many more blessings, and I've gotten to work with superstars, Hall of Famers. And, you know, an interesting thing, I never made it anywhere, really. I didn't make it big. I don't claim to be a famous wrestling manager. I claim to be a guy who's been doing it for 23 years and loves every minute of it. And now I'm in a position where I'm still learning every day, every time I do something, but I'm also in a position to teach. And another highlight, to answer your question, is it's interesting sometimes to see someone that goes up out of nowhere and then you see him again on the way back down. And it's interesting to see the changes sometimes. But I just enjoy every minute of it, so it's all a blessing.
I grew up on the great wrestling managers, the Grand Wizard, Lou Albano, Fred Blassie, Jim Cornette later on, Paulie Dangerously, of course. Who were some of the managers that influenced you?
Paulie Dangerously, of course. This guy, he didn't even know it, but he invented the cell phone. He used to run around with that cordless phone, right?
That's right.
So like he was talking to people. Nobody heard anything like that. Next thing you know, we all got cell phones. You know, Roddy Piper. Definitely his interview skills from the Piper Pit days, something that inspired me to make sure that I always used the verbal aspect of my gimmick as opposed to how I dress and how I act. Captain Lou Albano. The Grand Wizard, as you mentioned, all these guys, I watched and studied them as a kid, and I still do. And you know, it's good memories.
You know, I was going to say, growing up, I remember. I mean, of course, the matches were great, but I couldn't wait to hear the managers, like, you know, really give it to Vince, or you know, and it's such an important part of the wrestling game is to be able to project and present yourself as, like, you know, this know-it-all manager.
Yeah, and it's very interesting, because as a child, like many people, I thought I wanted to be a professional wrestler. I was a fan, and I loved it, and when I got the opportunity, I weighed 115 pounds. So it was suggested to me, why don't you manage? And I did. And after a few years, when I had, you know, gained some weight, got up to 220, thanks to a man named Dan Sevron, who put me on a great weightlifting and diet program. And by the time I reached that weight, I didn't want to wrestle anymore. I love I love what I do. I love interacting with the crowd. I love elevating somebody who's maybe not so great with the microphone, but can bring it in the ring. And I just love it all. I wouldn't change the way it happens for the world.
Yeah, I'm going to throw this out there for both of you guys. Who are some of the greatest talkers in the history of wrestling? Of course, Dusty Rhodes and Billy Graham. Who, you know, Dusty was all over the news, of course, this past week after his passing. Who else would you put up there with the great talkers?
Go ahead, Sir Style. I'll give it to you first.
Well, we all have our favorites. I mean, many people are great. I look at the great talkers as the people who are not monotone, the people who can change your emotions, maybe even get angry, even, you know, no matter what side of the crowd they're playing, just the people who show a range of emotions. So, of course, you think of Ric Flair, Roddy Piper, Hulk Hogan, even Vince McMahon. That guy has a lot of character and a lot of personality, and in my opinion, he saved his own company by stepping out of the broadcast booth and showing his character. So, and there's several people that, I mean, you could make a list of 100 people as far as I'm concerned.
Steve?
In kind of, in a, not even a weird way, but the Iron Sheik.
Yeah.
He was just the greatest. I remember he used to call Mean Gene Okerlund Gene Ming.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Gene Ming, I say, just speak right. But, you know, he infuriated you, but he really had it down to...
Certainly.
Yeah.
I actually liked the guys who were quiet, but you took them seriously. Jake the Snake, Nick Bockwinkel. Nick Bockwinkel sounded like a college professor who could still kick your ass, right?
Well, sure. Yeah. And then you got the Ultimate Warrior. You never knew what he was saying, but he was entertaining.
Yeah. Arn Anderson. Arn Anderson was also quiet, but a good interview.
Bruno was like that. Like, you know, it's kind of like, well, you know, when I get this guy in the ring, I'm going to, you know, you knew he was just kind of doing that slow burn. Yeah. It was great.
And this man is almost lost to history, but one of the greatest talkers of all time was John the Maniac Tolis. John Tolis was such a tremendous talker. Tolis and Blassie was the first pay-per-view. Really, back then they called it closed circuit.
Correct, yeah.
And this was before WrestleMania. This guy was such a great talker, normal-sized guy, but he could talk you into buying a ticket, boy. John Tolis. Check him out on YouTube, what little footage there is of him, because he was tremendous. And... guys, anything you want to plug before we go to commercial break? Any?
Well, I already talked about the Bucks County Sport and Social Club having our inaugural tournament September 12th. There's a $1,500 cash first prize. And as far as wrestling goes, people are on my tail tough, but I am still hanging on as the 1CW general manager. And so we're rewarding our loyal fans with a free show on July 11th in Harrington, Delaware. I'm sorry, Farmington, Delaware. So if you're not from Delaware and you normally don't travel for maybe cost, well, this show is free. So spend your ticket money on a little gas money. And we're gonna have Dirty Sunny Deeds versus Crazy Shay in a Falls Count Anywhere match outdoors. This is going to be wild, no disqualification. And then we got Jermaine Dirty Money Robinson defending his NWA Dog Championship against Funky White Boy. So free show, July 11th.
That's a great name for a wrestler.
Yeah. It's going to be great.
All right. And anything as far as your acting career since you've been here last?
I've been focused on other things, so no, nothing to report at this time, but I will keep you posted.
All right. And Steve?
Just planetludwig.com, itunesusa.com for the Beatles show. And, each week when people tune in, they see your book up there. It's such a great book. Why don't you give us a couple words about that?
Apartment 4B, like in Brooklyn, about the East Flatbush, Brooklyn, the turbulent 60s and 70s. And if you think there's a lot of racial tension now, you should have seen back in the day. It's still topical. So check that out. And folks, I just want to announce that Patty's Tavern, 42-07, 162nd Street in Flushing. Tonight, Jasmine Clemente will be there with a great DJ. Jasmine was on the show last week. And if you missed last week's show with the Ebonies out of Philly, tremendous, tremendous show. And Oliver Shawn, international indie superstar, he was on the show as well. So check out last week's show. All the archives, LegendsTV, NYC.com, and MadHouseTV.com. And Edwin Vasquez will be there next Saturday, the 27th, so don't miss that. And also ICW Wrestling, sort of my home team, Jack Sabbath, the promoter. Amazing Red against Samoa Joe this Friday night, and another show to follow Saturday night, so a double shot at the elegant, renowned Elks Lodge of ECW fame on Queens Boulevard. You don't even need the address. This venue is so famous. And if you don't know the address, there's a giant freaking elk outside the building, so you can't miss
it. As elegant as it is.
So anyway, folks, and before we go to commercial break, I just want to show a brief clip of a documentary that we re-released featuring yours truly, Nikolai Volkov, Killer Kowalski, Lowlife Louis Ramos, Homicide, etc., so on. It's called Wrestling Then and Now. At the time, I was teaching kids, and the theme of the movie is like mild-mannered English teacher surrounded by all these colorful wrestlers. Not as colorful as Sir Style, but check it out, folks.
From the associate producer of The Wrestler, Evan Ginsberg, comes Wrestling Then and Now.
What? I think you look better with the mask on!
Learn the super secret backstage moves of professional wrestlers.
He knows all those moves and can do everything, right? But
innovative ways of dealing with sexual harassment.
But I actually did make contact on his nuts, and it did hurt.
Ask yourself, what the hell is wrong with these people? Watch Saturday morning cartoons with Nikolai Volkov.
what are you doing here, Nikolai?
Yeah, save this child. That's the best one too.
Amazing likeness there.
Good looker guy.
Hear the wisdom of Killer Walter Kowalski.
Think you become, the few you become, what you say you become. Never be derogatory about yourself. If you're down, take the upper stand. I am Superman. I am the greatest. I am perfect.
It's a time capsule of a film. Wrestling Then and Now. Streaming to your computer, to your phone, to your TV. Download now.
All All right, folks, check it out, Wrestling Then and Now the movie at walkertown.com. You could stream it, you could buy it, support indie cinema, support indie music, support indie wrestling. And later in the show, we're going to have great R&B singer out of Philly, Sheldon Price, and upcoming, right after this brief commercial break, we have Dawn Cato and John Williams III, all the way from Vegas, talking about all their various arts-related projects. And don't you dare go anywhere. More of Legends TV after this brief timeout.
Hi, I'm Tom Mealy from MadHouseTV, and when I'm not at the studio, I'm here at the Harrison Law Group. This is my real job. And this January 2015, Brett and I are putting together a show called Legal Straight Talk. It'll be aired on Cablevision as well as here at MadHouseTV. You need to tune in. This information that we're going to be giving the public is the real deal. It's all about what you should do, what you shouldn't do. So tune in this January 2015 for a new episode of Legal Straight Talk.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching, doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
All right, we're back with Legends TV, and I am joined by some dear friends who I've known for the longest time, but have met for the first time, all the way from Vegas, John Williams III, and Twitter talent scout of North America, Dawn Cato. That's quite a title.
I know, and I love it. I really do.
So Dawn, tell us about that.
In 2010, I went on Twitter because I wanted to pick out a specific social media site to connect with people, and Twitter is the greatest tool to use for social media.
I'm on Facebook every day battling morons, like fighting politics. That's how I connect with people.
I know, but you got to get on Twitter and stay on Twitter, because there is groups, support groups. There are different celebrities. There's things that you will connect with that have similar interests with you. You can connect with them and speak to them directly, or you can tweet. You can follow your favorite, celebrity. You can follow anybody that that you really want to connect with, and they will answer back.
Okay.
And I love it. It's just something that that I wanted to do, because there's a lot of independent artists on there. That
So
need
as a
help.
talent scout, what exactly do you do for the talent?
Well, I have the record labels that are following me. So we do connect with one another. If I see someone that I find that is interesting, that has a specific type of talent, I will go and connect with the direct messaging with the record labels and hook them up.
And if they're over the age of 15, are they taken seriously, I hope?
Well, you know,
yeah.
Of course. I mean,
because there's a lot of ageism in the music industry.
Sure. But I feel that they come to me for advice. There's a lot of things that have changed in the music industry and the record labels, and the first thing they ask me is, where do I go? How do I get started? What do I do? So I point them in the right direction, basically. And, you know, I think that there are a lot of celebrities that I connect with also, that I speak with, and they give me advice. A lot of music artists that do give me a lot of advice. And so it's a learning process too, and okay. I really enjoy it, and I make a lot of people understand how the industry is today.
Beautiful, beautiful. And John Williams, tell us about a class with Broadway.
Well, Class with Broadway has been an idea for quite a few years, and now we are pending our nonprofit status. And what it is 4 musicals added into one, which I had shown you, which we are going to be dealing with the directors or producers of each of those shows. And what it is 4 shows added into one, where it would be a 38-city tour going around the U.S.
Only 38 cities?
Only 38 cities. Well, I will say 36 cities in the U.S. and 2 in Canada, one in Vancouver and one in dates in Vancouver and also Toronto. It would be 720 performances where we give 100 tickets away per show per day to the 10th graders, basically going from the first year, starting in Minneapolis to D.C., anything northeast of St. Louis, including Toronto. We give 100 tickets away per show to the 10th graders. We break for summer and Christmas like the kids do. Start up in Charlotte, North Carolina, go down in West Palm Beach up to Salt Lake, again September and May. We will give 100 tickets to the 11th graders. Break, and then again September, May, going Las Vegas to Phoenix, San Diego, up Highway 5 to Vancouver, and then in San Francisco, 12th graders. Meaning, when we're done, we've done 700 plus performances, gave out 74,500 tickets. Everyone's 12th graders. They're the next people thinking of a career, and as well as opening their eyes to theater. IATSE has given us the permission where at least 1 or 2 kids could get on-hand experience backstage for a week from those classes, and if they do good, IATSE will bring them into their apprentice program, and as well as Department of Education had gave us the green light to allow the students. Imagine you as a parent sitting there in the aisles and seeing your kids walking down, seeing the course to 2 of the musicals. I can't say the names right now until I get it. But at the end, we would be giving back over $35 million to school districts in 38 cities to continue the arts.
There you go.
Which is needed. And, you know, and the thing is that, you know, being around Beauty and the Beast, I've noticed that, you know, Disney gives tickets away to the 6th graders, and that's great. But they're not your next buying audience. They're not thinking of a career. Where I'm going after is your next buying audience and career. And your audience usually is 35, I would even say 40 now and above, that are going to
Whenever
theater.
I go to the theater, I'm like the youngest one in there.
Right.
It's like, you know, this is not a good scenario. You have to bring young people into the theater. And Steve, as a retired veteran teacher of 34 years, why are the arts important for kids?
38 years.
38 years, excuse me. The marriage is 34 years.
It was 34 years, and then the last 4 took this off, so it's 38. No, I mean, every year we took our kids to Broadway to see Phantom of the Opera.
And what did it mean to them?
Oh my goodness, yeah. And it was we usually went end of April or May, and they just talked about it for the rest of the school year. For many of them, that's the first and unfortunately only time they would go to the theater. You know, but there's not a student that has ever said, "Oh, that was boring," or "Oh, I hate it."
It's magic.
It's magic is right, and they can't believe that everything is live. They think, you know, I had to tell them before we went that it's not lip sync.
Yeah.
You know, the performers are really singing. There's a real orchestra. During the intermission, I would take them down to see the orchestra pit, and it's just such an experience.
And
It's
I
so
think
important,
I
John,
think it
really
could be
is.
life changing. I think some of these kids will say, I want to do this, or I want to work in this industry, or I want to bring my kids one day to the theater. It's a gift that keeps on giving, right?
Yeah, and that's what this whole project's about. And you have to also think how many people are 25, 30 years old, never seen a musical. And you have 4 shows edit into one show, and when we're going from one show to the next, there's no stage change. And it flows right perfectly. Total time is 2 hours and a half, 2 hours and 45 minutes with the whole
That's
thing.
a play.
Right,
In
which is a
itself,
play,
yeah.
but you know, you have 4 shows, and how many people 25 is like, well, I've never seen a play, I always want, let's go check this out, because there's 4 of them into one, and they may love it so much, and we will work it out where those 4 actual plays are following us 2 months and 3 months beyond, so it opens the doors for them as well. But it is life-changing for the kids, you know. I mean, I got in the music industry at the age of 16, being a DJ on the radio in San Francisco, and then got into touring with bands and all that.
Well, tell us about some of the bands you work with.
Oh, Dio,
Yeah.
Earth, Wind & Fire, and a few others. Last tour I did.
That's about as different as you could get.
Yeah.
Dio and Earth, Wind and Fire.
Well,
Yeah.
but then the last tour I did, which was even more different, I ran the tour in '95. It was Ice Cube, Coolio, Da Brat, Faith, Monica, Soul Frio, 6ix9ine Boys, 95 South, Wu-Tang Clan, Ice-T, and Total.
What's it
and Faith
like being
Evans.
on the road with the Wu-Tang Clan? Tell us
Tell
about
us
that.
Tell us about the after party.
Yeah,
how about
that's right.
the before party?
Oh boy.
You know, Wu-Tang, they were interesting. I mean, I remember.
I think interesting is being mild.
Well, we had X amount of rooms for the hotel, and they show up, and you know, I mean, you got your crew, and then you got the band members, and a lot of them were, you know, they share rooms. Oh no, they got one room for everybody, and that's why we had to get more rooms. You know, it's like, but it was interesting, and or showing up just right at the last minute when you're pulling your hair out, wondering where they're at, and
Right.
but you know, I mean, it was good. I mean, one show we did in L.A., and I wish I would ever meet him again. Ice-T. We had a riot that broke out between the Crips and Bloods during our show, and Ice-T actually calmed everyone down and saved our show. And you know, I've always wanted to say thank you to him.
Wow.
You know, other artists I've worked, I actually had a record label called ARD Records, which I worked out of my house. I had an artist by the name of Tony Dupuis. We actually got on the charts and toured with Spiral Gyra, Piece of Dream, did some shows. Felton Pilot from Confunction actually produced the song. As a matter of fact, I just had Felton on a show a few days ago. Now, Confunction does have a new hit in the charts after all these years called I Miss You More Than Love. It's the name of the album.
Tell them to come on this show. I love Confunction.
Yeah, so the new album is I Miss You, and the album, or that's the name of the song, and the album is called More Than Love. And it's a great song, and it's a great artist, so... of course, you know, the other artists I work with, I also work with the Shylights and Delphonics, and and Norman Carter, which was a former lead singer of the Delphonics, which is doing phenomenal
I just saw
right
the
now.
Delphonics at the 70s Soul Jam a couple of months back.
Oh yeah, 70 Soul Jams out on the road. They're actually, I believe they said they were going to be in Connecticut this week, so... but yeah, I mean, Norman Carter, I mean, I'm working with him. He's doing phenomenal as well. Just not singing stuff from Delphonics, but other artists as well.
Awesome.
And Don, can you help him reach Ice-T on Twitter so maybe he can get that apology?
I think he's following me on Twitter, Sean.
See that?
I'll
Let's
hook
make
you
the
up.
connection. You can make that apology through after all these years.
But
And you know, from what I'm hearing, I just want to say that these two people are providing services for people who are looking for opportunities in their respective businesses, and that's something that's not easy to find. So if you're watching and you're interested in these businesses, you should contact these people, because there's a lot of people out there that want to rip you off and do it the wrong way, and that's not what I'm hearing here today. So this is rare, people that spend their time to help people in arts, music, and entertainment. So take advantage of it.
That's right. John has a deep love and respect respect for, especially R&B, but from what I'm hearing, all genres of music.
Yeah, and talking about R&B, which we talked about earlier, my biggest hope when I almost became a manager of a major artist was Felipe Wynn, who was the lead singer of the Spinners.
Yeah.
I still have the contract. He wanted me, he said yes, he would be my manager, or he would like me to be his manager. They were huge at the time, and he said he will bring me to, he had 2 nights in Oakland. I lived in San Francisco at the time. And he said he'll bring me up on stage the next day, and that first night he passed away on stage.
Yeah.
Which it was horrible, and it was, it was life-changing for me too, because you're just ready to have something big, and something happens too.
I saw Felipe Wynn with the Spinners, mid-70s at their peak, and he was so tremendous. To this day, I've seen thousands and thousands of shows. I went to 3 shows this week, Steve will tell you. It was one of the 5 greatest shows I've ever seen, Felipe Wynn with the Spinners. I would say 1975 or so. And he went to P-Funk after that, and yeah, he died on stage. I heard Johnny Guitar Watson passed away on stage also.
Yeah, no, there has
Jackie
been
Wilson collapsed on stage. He was in a coma for years. I would be traumatized for life. Curtis Mayfield was hit by the speaker, and he was paralyzed on stage.
Tiny Tim had a heart attack singing, ironically. Tiptoe Through the Tulips had taken to the hospital, and he was DOA.
Wow.
I think it's the way they'd want to go, though, because they're performers. What a way to go.
I don't know if I'd want to drop dead right here. I'm not quite sure, but
I think I wouldn't want to die in a hospital.
Yeah.
I would stand there performing my last breath, I think.
Evan, if you do die in the show, can I have the chair?
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Well,
what I would like,
I got
what I would like is after I die, I'm going to have one last gig with all my musician friends. I think that would be hot. Musicians, rappers, and wrestlers. That's going to be my funeral.
That's right.
That'd be a party.
Funeral, get all your music friends.
No, I'm serious. That I'll do.
I've already set it up so you can.
Like in New Orleans, it's a big party when you go.
Yeah. So it's fun. Dawn's been my right-hand lady, I could say, with the business and helping me out.
John told me that story when I first met him about the Spinners and about his contract. That was the very first night, and he told me that. And I told him because the Spinners are my favorite bands.
I love the Spinners.
My all-time favorite.
It was actually my first paid concert too.
Wow.
So, but Dawn's never been further east than Denver, so I had to bring her out here. We're going to New Music Seminar, which is starts in a few more days, and I have to push Virgin Airways because they are the best airlines in the world, and we even had to fly through LA to come here, but that's all right. They are worth it. It was the best airlines in the world.
Soon to be sponsoring Legends TV. No, I'm kidding. We need you to work on that.
And we are working with them. We are working with talking to some people.
Hey, we have a worldwide audience. That would work.
We're talking with their corporate in Burlingame about being one of the sponsors for our musical too. But it's really important that I hate to say sports stays in the schools, and the arts is gone. We got to do something to open the kids' eyes to other things
and
too.
You'll hook them, John. All they have to do is just go to one production like that, and they're hooked.
And for every parent listening to this, okay, look, I'm looking at the camera, so I'm serious. For every parent listening, take your kid by the hand, take them to a live concert, museum, theater, whatever it may be. Get them away from the TV, the computer, the video games. Part of being a parent is to introduce your kids to culture. My father did it when I was a kid. My dad took me to see the Spinners, Nancy Wilson, Mel Torme, Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan, Buddy Rich, etc., so on. And I'm eternally grateful, and wrestling as well, But seriously, I'm eternally grateful. And the TV is not a babysitter. Instill culture in your kids. What do you all think? Seriously.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's what turned me on when in high school. My going to children's theater That was my elective. I had to go there because the rest of the school, the projects and going to my classes, to me, I didn't have much of an interest, but going to theater, my children's theater, and getting on stage, motivated me to do the rest of my classes, motivated me to attend school. It's a part of something that's needed. It's got to stay there.
The first show I ever went to on Broadway was Sleuth with Patrick McNee, and we waited by the stage door with my father and mother, and Patrick McNee comes out like British royalty and like pats me on the head, hello little boy, and signs the autograph. I was hooked for life. It was magic.
That was last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, Patrick McNee from the Avengers. Remember the Avengers?
Yeah, and it's interesting because being in the industry all this time, and being a stage manager, stage designer, I saw during the break, during one of the breaks of the tours, I happened to go home to San Francisco, and saw Phantom, and all the way flying back to LA, I'm on the plane going, how did they do that? Well, I've never saw a musical before, and caught myself because I drove a cab in San Francisco too, and be playing it and singing it, and people told me, hearing me singing in the cab, and they're saying, wow, you should be on Broadway, and then took acting classes and changed my whole thing at the age of 35.
Wow.
And it's like, where have I been? Why haven't I opened my eyes? Even though I did take a chorus class in high school, but it wasn't like...
There's people living in New York who have never been to the theater. How sad is that? I mean, not really. And I would be remiss, we don't have a lot of time, but briefly tell us about how you're suing the NFL. That's interesting.
I'm suing them. I'm in New York. I better watch out. Basically, it's against the NFL and Seahawks and Ticketmaster and a few others. Basically, what happened was I wanted to take the love of my life, which was Izira and her daughter, and Dawn, to see San Francisco versus Seattle up in Seattle versus San Francisco. Well, Seattle, I say San Francisco beats Carolina Panthers, or let's try to get tickets to the game. And San Francisco won, and Seattle came out and said, congratulations, San Francisco, for being Carolina Panthers. We'll see you next week. However, we do not want no 49er fans at our game, so we're only going to sell tickets to people who live in Washington, Oregon, Montana, Idaho.
I've heard of this before. I've heard about
they've been doing Denver has done that right after, so I filed a suit against them. It's a $50 million lawsuit against them. Since that time period, they had stopped doing it. They haven't done it any time last year. They, I have governors and some senators that were behind me to take me to Congress to go after their nonprofit, because here's Roger Goodell making X amount of millions of dollars, twice as much more than the CEO of Coke or CFO of Walmart, okay? And I posted, I have a thing called John Against NFL on Facebook, and I posted,
great name for a movie, John Against NFL.
Right, so,
you might have something there.
So I posted it on there and explained, do you think NFL should keep the nonprofit status or not? And everyone, no, in every other words. And what happened was 2 weeks later, Roger Goodell says, we're giving up our nonprofit status.
Interesting. Well, I'll be following that.
Well, be fair. If tickets go on sale for a public event, baseball, basketball, soccer, hockey, whatever, and hockey has been just start doing this as well, and I've got calls about that.
Yeah, well, I don't know the legal details, but I'll be following it. I'll be interested to see how that comes out. And on top of it, I want to say congratulations to my nephew Nick. He does take theater, as we were speaking about. He participates, and he just received the most likely to be a future actor award at school.
There you go. Encourage the youth.
Congratulate him and follow the avenue, stay what you're doing.
All right. So Dawn, John, please plug anything you'd like to plug.
Follow me on Twitter at Dawn Cato, Dawn_Cato on Twitter.
And John?
Yeah, and you can follow me or go to a classwithbroadway.org to read about my project, or you could go under jwiii.com, which is the artist, regarding the artists I represent. And only thing I have to say is hi to, because I'm also a Teamster, a chief steward in Vegas and handle all the conventions as well. So I have tons of things going on. So I just want to plug that what I do and say hi to all the friends who are watching me, as well as Vivian and a few other people.
Multitasking. He's suing. He's performing. He's all right.
And I will. And of course, you know, I'm going to sing 2 songs here in a minute from the Broadway.
Fabulous.
That's right. So later in the show, John Williams will be singing. Sheldon Price will be up next talking music. And Sir Stahl, you want to plug anything?
Just the things I already said. Bucks County Sport and Social Club and 1CW Championship Wrestling. Farmington, Delaware, July 11th, free show. Falls Count Anywhere Championship match. And the NWA dog title will be defended.
That's right. There we go. We've gone from the NFL to the NWA dog title, folks. So we got all bases covered.
We got it all.
Anyway,
don't forget Twitter.
That's right. Twitter. Yeah. And we will be right back after this brief timeout with Sheldon Price, great R&B singer. Don't you dare go anywhere.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidisciplinary practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have 2 practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our 2 offices. Thank you.
We are back with Legends TV, joined by R&B great Sheldon Price returning to the show, and we love Philly soul. We just had the Ebonies last week. We have the Stylistics coming up. Tell us a little about yourself.
Well, my name is Sheldon Price. I'm based out of Philly. There's a lot of soul music in Philadelphia.
What is it about Philly? boxing, wrestling, and R&B. That's what I right?
It's a great town.
It really is. Yeah. You know, that's a great combination. Speaking of the Ebonies were here last week. Bill Howard has been a friend of mine for 10, 12 years. You know, he's a great singer. Before he was in the Ebonies, he had his own band called Smoke.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and he was big all across town. And I used to be in a group called Philly Cream.
Oh yeah.
And he always used to say, "Well, we built the parking lot that your people were coming into." That's what he always said.
All right.
But he's a very good artist.
Absolutely.
You know, they came here. I seen the clips last week, and they were very good. So if in the event that you get a chance to book the Ebonies, look at the Evans Ginsberg show, and just see what they're about. You know, Ebonies is a great show.
There you go.
Great show.
And Daryl, thank you. And Daryl Hall from Hall & Oates, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Right.
And he straight out said that the R&B acts out of Philly have not, justice has not been done. They have not been putting them into the Hall of Fame. Well, what's your take on that?
I think that's true. I mean, I don't know where the Delphonics is at. I mean, I heard a young gentleman over there talk about the Delphonics. Poochie is one of the greatest. He has a great delivery, like Sinatra or something.
Yeah.
Sinatra does his own thing, but Poochie, he writes. He gets to the point of what a woman needs, what a woman wants, and how she needs to hear it. And he has written some of the great. Him and Tom Bell.
Oh yeah.
Has written some of the greatest music.
Tom Bell worked with the Spinners.
Yeah. Ever known to man.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And what about your own career highlights? Tell us about some of the people you work with and great venues, great gigs.
Well, you know, I worked at the Foxtrot. I worked at the Club Harlem. In L.A., I worked at the Total Experience. I opened up for people like the Manhattans, Blue Magic.
I love Blue Magic.
Yeah,
I love Blue Magic.
Friend of mine. I opened up for her before. Her name is Vesta.
Oh, yeah.
You know, she's one of the greatest singers I has ever come across. You know, so you know, I played a lot of venues, and music has been really, really good to me. But now what I'm trying to do is just get booked, because without a hit record, it's really, really hard to get, you know, bookings.
Maybe John Williams can help you out there. What do you
Hey,
think,
Mr. John Williams. How you
Hi, I'm John Williams. And you know, you're talking about Blue Magic. Ted Mills should be probably watching right now, because I talked to him a few days ago.
There you go.
And he's from Blue Magic, so Ted should be probably watching us right now.
Well, Ted Mills is one of the people that I have listened to over the years.
The Wizard.
Yeah, he's the greatest, lowest first tenor I've ever heard. His delivery is great. You know, Blue Magic, Poochie and them, the Delphonics, the Temptations, you know, Eddie Kendricks. I mean, they're all class acts. I mean, you know, it's enough to go around if you got ears, if you got time to sit there and to listen and to filter yourself with love.
I could sit on YouTube forever. I mean, you know, it's endless.
Who wouldn't?
Great music, great wrestling, great everything, right?
Yeah.
And you talk about venues. I'm from the Philadelphia area also. And like you said, there's so much going on there. It's really amazing. But what are your favorite venues in the Philadelphia area?
My God. There's so many.
There really is.
I like what they call it, the Spectrum. But it's not the Spectrum anymore.
Right, no, it's the, I believe it's the Wells Fargo Center.
It's the Wells Fargo Center.
Every couple of years.
Yeah, you know, I love that place.
And have a little place like the Tower. And,
the Tower. I like the
Factory.
Tower.
Yeah.
The Tower's like it's like a 10,000 seater.
Yeah, that's about right, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know? Also, I go to Deliverance Evangelistic Church, and it has the biggest Bose system that you have ever seen. So a lot of gospel artists go into there, and Alex Ingram is the minister of music there. Pastor Glenn Spalding is the pastor there, and I'm a member there.
Who are some of your favorite gospel artists? I love Hezekiah Walker. I love that guy.
Hezekiah Walker is great. I like Donnie McClurkin.
Oh yeah.
I like Donnie McClurkin. I mean, and I like Yolanda Adams.
I've seen it.
I love Donnie McClurkin. He's such a great singer. You know, Fred Hammond. You know, these are powerhouses.
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah.
So when you look back, when you first started out, who were some of the singers that influenced you?
Jeffrey Osborne.
All right.
Nancy Wilson's my mother's favorite singer.
Yeah, Nancy Wilson, very elegant.
Nancy Wilson is a great singer. Billy Eckstine.
Oh yeah.
Billy Eckstine. Did I say Lou Rawls? No. Lou Rawls. Lou Rawls.
So you like these
Sinatra,
smooth singers.
Dean Martin.
And what do they all have in common? They
Delivery.
enunciated. You could understand every word they said.
They have a great delivery. Their delivery is second to none, and their delivery is flawless. And people, I could turn Dean Martin on, and you know him from Frank Sinatra. Sammy Davis Jr. was one of the greatest actors, singers, dancers, tap dancers I have ever seen. Fred Astaire.
He could tap.
Fred Astaire was one of the greatest. I mean, you take Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was probably a compilation of Jackie Wilson, Fred Astaire, James Brown, and just put them all together. I mean, he studied everybody. He was a great person that went. He just studied and studied.
That footage from the Tammy show. Not only did Michael Jackson study it, Bruno Mars studied it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you could see which moves have been utilized. I'll say utilized, not stolen. Utilized. You know, and that Tammy show footage is unbelievable.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So I mean, one of my favorite artists today is, I mean, she's making a comeback, Anita Baker.
Sure.
You know,
I love Anita Baker.
It's flawless what she does. You know. Especially if you have like a really good sound system and you're sitting there listening to Anita Baker, it's time to go to sleep. You know, she just puts you to sleep. Sade.
Shaka Khan just played in Brooklyn, and she drew 20,000 people at an outdoor concert.
Yeah,
so when people
she does that.
So when people do the old, R&B is dead, I say that's ridiculous.
No.
When it's ridiculous, when it's promoted well.
Yeah.
You know,
Thank you.
I mean, the 70s Soul Jam, they sell out everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Well, people don't want to promote anymore. They want to make a Facebook like page and not go out and talk to the people and promote. It's a different thinking.
You got to get out there amongst the people. Yeah. Speaking of Shaka Khan, she drew 20,000, 25,000 on the Parkway. And it was nothing but love, you know. It was just crazy. Yeah.
The Essence Festival draws huge crowds out in New Orleans.
Huge.
I mean, R&B, it needs to be promoted. People have to know about it.
While America's coming, to Philly, in front of the Art Museum again.
When is that?
On July 4th.
Okay.
July 4th is probably be the Roots. I hope to see, what is this girl's name? She sings, she was with, I forget her name. Lauryn Hill.
I'm seeing Lauryn Hill today in Queens.
Is that right?
Yeah.
She's playing an outdoor show in Queens.
Lauryn Hill is a phenomenal artist.
I've been
Her and Mary J. Blige. These artists are great.
I've been to several of those July 4th concerts down there in Philly and Pensacola, and they put on an amazing show. They really do.
This one's
from morning to night.
This is not down at Penn's Landing. This is on the steps of the Art Museum.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I've been to quite a few of them, and it is a good day. It's a long day, but it's a great day. They really do a good job.
Yeah.
So I'm going to throw this out for all of you because I had this debate with somebody the other day. People just throw out, Michael Jackson was the greatest performer of all time, and I go, no, I don't think he was as good as James Brown in his prime. I don't think he was good as Jackie Wilson in his prime. I think when you're lip syncing, it takes it down a couple of notches, no matter how great a dancer you are. I mean, what's your take on that? I'm throwing this out to everybody.
I'm taking Michael.
Who's the greatest performer? Michael?
I'm taking Michael.
Really?
I'm taking Michael. It's hard to go against James Brown. I mean, James Brown.
I was going to say James Brown.
James Brown in his prime?
Brown.
Are you talking all genres of music, or?
I'm talking, who is the most exciting performer to ever
Take
survive?
anybody.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
There's no right answer. It's just an opinion.
Because on one side is, I could say Frank Sinatra on one side, which I would like. R&B, that would be tough because I liked a lot. Of course, I like Ted Mills. Blue Magic is great, and it was. I just can't say who because there's so many artists out there.
Al Green in the 70s, very few
Al
could
Green-
touch him.
Al
Teddy
Green,
Pendergrass.
You know what? I would put Teddy right at the top, because Teddy was phenomenal.
I can tell you something. There was a guy who I first opened up for. His name was Bobby Blue Bland.
Oh, yeah.
And Bobby Blue Bland has such a voice that was so unbelievable.
He did that growl thing. It was great. Yeah.
You know, and he would walk in the audience. He would walk in the audience, and women would put money in his pockets.
Wow.
Never seen that done before in my life. And we were talking about Johnny Guitar Watson. Johnny Guitar Watson was great. His wife Zelda. His wife Zelda was one of the most beautiful women that I have ever seen in my life.
You know who I just saw? Not quite as famous, but tremendous. Bobby Rush. Oh my God, Bobby Rush is tremendous.
Okay.
And he's 82 years old. He still kills. Wow. Kills, yeah. So, what's coming up?
Well, you know, I'm putting together a band, and Richard Tucker, you'll hear his track when I sing. He played with Tina Marie. He played with almost everybody. You name him.
I love Tina Marie.
He played with them. Between him, Lamb Chops on keyboards. These are Philadelphia personalities. The Holloway sisters. Valerie Lifford, former lead singer for Philly Cream. She's going to be doing half the show. But instead of like a group, I'm going to be coming out and singing. We're going to spin it, and she's going to sing. Then we're going to get another singer, and then they're going to sing. And then we might do maybe a couple songs at the end or something like that. I got that off of Will Downing because Will Downing used to come out, and then Phil Perry used to come out. Then Vesta would come out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a show.
That's a show.
Yeah.
They were blazing hot, you know.
Amazing.
That sounds like something I want to go see.
There you go.
Any websites, social media you like to plug?
I'm on Spotify. I'm on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, Shazam. Please buy me 99 cents a song.
That's right.
You know,
well worth it.
Yeah, I have 2 albums out. One's called Night of Nights, and the other one's called Love, Love, Love. You know, please buy me, and I'm looking to be in your city soon.
I was just having this argument on Facebook today. You know, my buddy's doing a gig, and you know, everybody finds a reason not to come out, and he's tremendous artist. And I'm like, you know, supporting an artist isn't saying clicking like on Facebook. It's coming out to the gig. It's buying the music. Am I right?
Exactly.
100% right.
Yeah. You know, so you know, for 99 cents, support great music, folks.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, that's what it's about. Come out to the show. Get away from your TV. Get away from your computer.
Buy my T-shirts.
That's right. Yeah. Clicking like is not support. Anyway, folks, when we come back, speaking of great music, we're going to have John Williams III singing live, Sheldon Price singing live. It's what we do here on Legends TV. An eclectic mix as always. Don't you dare go anywhere, because we're going to take it to the stage in just a bit.
It's what we do.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidisciplinary practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have 2 practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our 2 offices. Thank you.
Being a fireman is more than just putting out blazes and giving kittens CPR. Sometimes my duty demands I fan the flames, like when a call comes in from a lady who needs immediate assistance. Maybe she needs help with a computer thing. Maybe she wants to go antique. Could be as simple as understanding that walking in heels it's hard. Ou aussi simple que l'été dernier à Paris. C'est sympa. Maybe it's ladies' night in, and she wants a simple, delicious recipe for margaritas with a twist. First, a can of limeade. Now hold on to this, you'll be using it. Side note, kittens make everything better. Next, add water. Now, a bottle of light beer. No, shh. Trust me, I'm a professional. And last, and most important, Sauza Blue Tequila. Now, mix it up. Ole. Yes, that's what I'm trained for. Whether it's to help her choose leggings or pants, telling her leggings are pants, or discussing leggings and jeggings versus pant pegging at her next ladies' night in, I'll come to the rescue. Don't call me a hero. Just call me. Let me know what time.
We're back. And we got him live right here in our studio, all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada. Give it up for John Williams III.
Hey, thank you. Well, I'm going to sing a song here, and it's from Beauty and the Beast. And if you ever seen the cartoon versus the musical, the cartoon musical is identical. Except for one point of it where in the cartoon when he lets Belle go, he actually cries on the castle. In the musical, he sings this song.
It's
helpless, unforgiven, cold and driven to the sad conclusion. No beauty could move me, no goodness improve me, no power on earth if I can't love. No passion could teach me, no lesson could reach me. How I could have loved her and made her love me if I can't love her then. Long ago I should have seen all the things I could have been. Careless and unthinking, I move onward. No pain could be deeper, no life could be cheaper, no point anymore if I can't love her. No spirit could reach me, no hope left within me. How I could have loved her and that she set me free. It's not to be if I can't love her. Let the world be done with me.
I didn't think I was going to get that last note. Thank you very much. Now, I'll tell you about the second song here. And don't worry, Evan. It's from Jekyll and Hyde. And it's called Confrontation, where you have a fight between each other. And don't worry, the Hyde doesn't come out in me sometimes. Maybe it will today. Okay. This is where they have a fight between each other.
Silence surrounds you. Once there was morning, now in this night, I will find the answer. I'll never desert you. I promise you this till the day that I. Do you ever think that I will ever let you go? Do you ever think I'll set you free? If you do, I'm sad to say it simply isn't so. You will never get away from me. All that you are is a face in the mirror. I close my eyes and you disappear. I'm what you face when you face in the mirror. Long as you live, I will still be here. All that you are is the end of a nightmare. All that you are is a dying scream. After tonight, I'll end this demon dream. This is not a dream, my friend. It will never end. This one is a nightmare that goes on. Hyde is here to stay, no matter what you may pretend. And I'll flourish long after you are gone. Soon you will die and my silence will hide you. You cannot choose but to lose control. You can't control me, I live deep inside you. Each day you feel me devouring your soul. I don't need you to survive like you need me. I become whole as you dance with death. And I rejoice as you breathe your final breath. For I live inside you forever now, with Satan himself by my side now. And I know that now and forever they'll never be able to separate Jekyll from Hyde. Can't you see? It's over now. Time to die. No, not Hyde, only you. As I die, you die too. I die, I am you. Damn you, Hyde, set me free. Can't you see? You are me. Deep inside, you are Hyde. No, never. Yes, forever. Goddamn you, Hyde. Take your evil deeds and rot in hell. I'll see you there, Jekyll. Never! Thank you. Thanks. I told you, Hyde doesn't come out on me too much.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidisciplinary practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our 2 offices. Thank you.
All right, welcome back. Next up live in studio to perform not 1, but 2 songs from my hometown, Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. Give it up for Sheldon Price.
For all the lovers in the house, for all the people that just want to lay back and love their woman and wonder why. Yeah. Baby, tell me what's wrong with you now. Tell me why I never seem to make you happy, though heaven knows I've tried. And what would it take to please you? Tell me just how I can satisfy your woman. You're driving me wild. Make up to make up, that's all we do. First you love me, then you hate me. That's a game for fools. Break up to make up, that's all we do. First you love me, baby, then you hate me. That's a game for fools. When I come home from working, you're on the phone, talking about how bad I treat you. Baby, tell me I'm wrong, but you say it's me. Now, darling, I say it's you. We have got to get together, or baby, we're through. Break up to make up, that's all we do. First you love me, baby, then you hate me. That's a game for fools. Are you gonna leave me, baby? We do. Are you gonna leave me, baby? Oh.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to welcome you to Live, the Evan Ginsberg Show. I'd like to finish this set with one of my favorite songs from Mr. Lou Rawls. Never find as long as you live
someone who loves you tender like I do. You'll never find.
Okay. I'm sorry. Lip syncing with Lou Rawls. Hey. You'll never find, as long as you live, someone who loves you tender like I do. You'll never find the rhythm, the rhyme, someone who cares about you the way I do. Oh, I'm not bragging on myself, baby, but I'm the one who loves you, and there's no one else, no one else. You'll never find, no matter where you search, someone who cares about you like I do. You'll never find the rhythm, the rhyme, someone who understands you the way I do. Oh, I'm not bragging on myself, baby, but I'm no different, but oh, maybe you're gone late in the midnight hour, baby, when it's cold outside. I know you are gonna miss my love. Oh, late in the midnight hour, baby, when it's real cold outside. I know that you are gonna miss my love. You'll never find, no matter where you search. Someone to understand you like I do. You never see what you found in me. Someone who needs you like I do. Oh, I'm not trying to make you stay, baby, but I know somehow, someday, some way you are late in the midnight hour, baby, when it's cold outside. I know that you are gonna miss my love. Whoa, late in the midnight hour, baby, when it's real cold outside. I know that you are gonna miss my